like I'm going to lose my mind. Okay, 1, 2, 3. In a pickle with G-Man, sponsored by gmailcomedy.com. Borderline, welcome back to the show, everybody. We're so glad we're back. Is somebody checking on Madonna? Madonna apparently fell. Did you hear that, Chris? She was unresponsive. Did you hear that, Chris?
I did hear that.
I know. You know, you wanted to go see her in concert, and I was like, no, it's going to be too much money. But now that I know that she might not make it or live, I want to see Madonna before she dies. It's a brilliant trick. You think it was a trick to get more ticket sales?
I mean, I wouldn't put it past, management to
management, yes. Blame it on management,
it's
not
management,
Madonna.
Right.
Yeah. I love Borderline. Yeah, I love Madonna. And I think we should look into getting tickets. And you know what, Chris? Just a reminder, I have American Express points for buying airplane tickets, so I have a lot, so we can get tickets probably cheaper. So we'll have to look at that. Madonna, we're going to come see you, bitch. Don't die. Bacteria. What kind of bacteria? What kind is that?
A bacterial infection?
Have you ever had that? I've never even known.
Not to my knowledge. No.
That's some rich people shit right there. Welcome, everybody. This is the 4th of July. Today is the 4th of July. I don't know when we're going to air this because I have no concept of time. I hate being constricted to the concept of time. It's hard for a person like me. You know what I mean? Be on time, do this. It's a lot. You know what I mean? It's a lot. So, but today is the 4th of July, the day that I took my oath to join the Army, where I filed all the paperwork for your freedoms. That was me. Filing and typing for your freedoms, Chris.
Don't you pretty much sign your life away when you go into the Army?
You do. But I love my country and I love being in the Army. It helped me get educated, it helped me with a house. Like, the Army was the shit. That's why I have plus that I have a veterans plate on my car and that gets me on a ticket. So I love being in the Army. It helps me all the time.
It got me out of a ticket once.
And
I'm not even a veteran.
You did? You got out of a ticket?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. I know. You know what? Today we went to Lowe's. I forget what we went to. Oh, because it's monsoon season. We need to have more lights. Chris says we have enough flashlights and stuff in here. We don't. We have to have more because what if the neighbors go out and they need help? You got to be a good neighbor, Chris. You are your brother's keeper. So we went to Lowe's today, and he parked in the veterans parking spot, and I feel guilty. I feel like that's for disabled vets or old timers. You know the old veterans, Chris?
Well, you're not young anymore.
Oh! So. So that parking spot is for me. What a bit. Let me get a drink. Well, Chris has been on vacation, so he went with. I spent the weekend in Tucson doing shows, so Chris went with me. Thank God you listened to me. We're at that point in a relationship where we're not fighting anymore. You just listen to each other. Mostly it's if I hear what you're saying, will you shut the fuck up? That's really what it is. It's in that relationship. But he wanted to wear shorts to the comedy club, and I told him no. That's 2 shows. It was me and Greg Wilson. It was a 2-man show all weekend, but they keep the comedy clubs pretty cold. This is in Arizona. It's hot outside and cold as shit inside. It's like being in a Costco refrigerator. Aren't you glad you listened to me though?
I am, actually. I wore jeans and I was freezing.
I know, it's always cold. I wear coats. It's July and I wear coats all the time.
So why do they keep the comedy club so cold? Is there a reason behind that?
You're funnier when you're chillier. I know, I'm just making it up.
I believed you for a second.
Yeah, I know. I wish I was a good liar. I'm the worst liar in America. No, they just keep it cold, I think, just so they can get the fuck out after the shows. They get the other people in there. I don't know.
It worked.
It really is cold. I know it was cold. So we're I'm glad you listened to me. Went with Zion, which is Zion is my friend of the week. Let's go right into the segment. Friend of the week. Friendo. Who's my friend of the week? Zion. I love Zion. That is my friend. The thing I love about Zion, and we're going to put a picture somewhere of Zion in here, right? Post-production. Zion is amazing. He started coming to my shows when I wasn't funny, which is still like last week. But like 10 or 11 years ago, he was there, and the thing I like about Zion, he's seen me do really well and do really bad. Always tells me the truth. Well, it could have been better. But seeing me all the way there. Went to Tucson with us. That was fun. You had someone to sit with. Good storyteller. I like Zion. Zion's amazing.
Zion's great.
The thing I love about Zion is I remember we did a show in LA and he rode with me, so I wouldn't have to drive by myself. We stopped in Palm Springs to get a t-shirt, and that was when I was losing weight. There was a time where I was losing weight a couple years ago. I don't know. I need to go back to that secret. What was it? I think I was eating your bullshit lunch that you made. That
My fake lunches, as you call them.
They're fake lunches, which is like an apple, a boiled egg, what else? Like a piece of fruit. It's a fake lunch, but
a piece of cheese.
A piece of cheese. It's just the saddest lunch in America when I eat it. It really is. But I did lose weight on that fake lunch program. But and I went to Palm Springs and we went and got these T-shirts, and I tried on a shirt, and large is what I usually wear, and it was too big. It was too big, and I was freaking out. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is too big, Zion. What do I do? And the guy behind the counter, he was, like, not having it. Those gay men, they're just over it. You know what I mean? They're just, like, through all the time. That gay man energy, like, what?
Always annoyed.
Yes, always annoyed. That gay face, what? Don't talk to me. Anyways, I said, I don't know what to do. And then he looks at Zion and myself and said, try a medium. And I was like, what? I haven't worn medium since I don't know, the early 2000s. A medium? And it fit. Oh my God. And I wore that t-shirt, I wore it to the show in LA, and I left the medium tag on it to let everyone know, bitch, I'm a medium. I'm a medium. I know. Oh, I thought you were going to say something. Did I interrupt you?
No.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you. So anyways, that was my one cling to, I'm going to be a medium again, but that was my one, fit thing.
You'll get there.
Thank you.
Just keep eating my fake lunches and you'll get there.
Boring. Anyways, let's talk about the pickle of the week. The pickle of the week. Oh my God, France is going crazy. Obviously, there's not French fries in France, or something's going on. These bitches are burning everything. They went to the mayor's house and they tried to burn it down. France is in a pickle, everyone. It's because they shot a cop. I should be serious about that. They do that over there too. A cop shot somebody instead of bringing them in, which is a real problem worldwide. It is a real problem. And they were like, France is crazy, Do you still want to go to Paris, Chris?
Yeah, I'd like to go, but I feel like France is always on fire. Like they're always burning stuff in France.
Wow. Okay, I never got that. We must be watching the different news. Really? I don't know.
They're always rioting.
They are?
Yeah. Because they rioted a couple months ago because they wanted to raise the retirement age.
Oh my God, you're right. France is not having it. You know what, France? Will you please riot about this shrinkflation, about the fact that I buy a party size bag of Doritos. Party size means you can bring it to the party, and it's like supposed to be 45 Doritos in there, and they give you like 30. And we need to go like Paris and burn down the streets.
Seriously, soon you're just gonna get a Dorito.
One Dorito
in a bag of Dorito.
Or you know what you're gonna get? You're gonna get Dorito dust. Just dust that you
powder
that you can lick your
snort.
finger. Yeah, that you're gonna snort it. You're right. Oh my God. And then, I'm leaning towards the fake lunches where I don't eat Doritos anymore. But that's a pickle of the week. And the other person that was in a pickle of the week was Lindsey Graham, that gay bitch. Oh my God. That my friend, well, I can't tell you who, but I have a friend that told me that someone, because Lindsey Graham is gay, he's trying to hold it as a secret. He's such a pain in the ass. He really is. Anyways, Lindsey Graham, apparently when he has the big O, Chris, he sounds like Goofy from Disney. Like, that's how when he makes the big O. That's what I heard.
Is that the word on the street?
That's what the word is on the street. Stay away from Kevin Spacey. He's all handsy. And Lindsey Graham, when he makes the big O, is going to make the goofy noise. That's weird. You know what I mean?
That is weird.
When you're trying to get that release and then you do that, I would charge extra if I slept with Lindsey Graham.
Lindsey Graham has tapped his foot at a bathroom
My
stall
God.
at some point in his life.
I know. You could tell. Ron DeSantis is going to do that too. You know what I mean? You can't hate gay people like that and not have a little bit gay in you. It's always, it'll come out. It always comes out. The ones that go for the gay people, remember that Ted Haggerty? Remember that?
Yeah.
God. he was on crystal meth and doing all
Sleeping
kinds
with
of.
a prostitute, wasn't it?
Well, we
Or
call
a
them
porn star or something?
We call them sex workers, Chris. That's
I
worse.
forgot we don't call it the P word anymore.
No, that's an honorable job. You know what I mean? No, it is, because some people are ugly. They need to pay for it. So it's a service. It's, you know what I mean?
It's a good cause for the community. Is that what we're trying to say?
It is. People need that. Otherwise, you turn into an old gay. Something happens to gay men when they stop having sex. I don't know what, Chris. I haven't been to the old gay men's meeting. But gay men, when they stop having sex, they're cranky. They are mean as hell. So I'm glad there's male prostitutes to sleep with them. You know what? Gay men, when they get real old and they stop having sex, they wear lots of turquoise on their fingers. Lots of turquoise. Like turquoise, everything. And they are, when you see an old gay queen with turquoise, do not be smart or sassy. They will let you have it. They will. They're not fooling around. Those old gay men, they invented fisting. They're not fooling around, Chris. They're not. That's a dangerous thing. But Lindsey Graham in a pickle, it brings me a little bit of joy to see him be booed. You know what I mean? Because he's so. There I did. I said, you know what I mean again. Every time I say, you know what I mean, I have to do a push-up, Chris. Or a sit-up. That'd be worse.
A sit-up, yeah.
I know. Today is an amazing day, 4th of July. Chris and I, Chris has been home all week. Usually he drives me crazy when he's home all week, but it was nice. We got up today. We went hiking. That was nice. Chris went hiking. I went for a walk, and then I turned around. I know. But I went pretty far, Chris. You know that?
Did you?
I did. I really did. I didn't want to push it because of the sciatica Sally. You know what I mean?
Sciatica Sally.
She's always on
That's her name now?
Yeah, she's on my name right here. Sciatica Sally will be like, Gene, slow down. I'm worried about my legs. But I went pretty far. It didn't hurt. So I don't know.
Are you stretching? You're supposed to be stretching.
I am stretching because I don't want to go through that, lose my leg anymore. That was crazy. And I can't dance anymore or nothing.
When do you dance?
Never. Never. I used to be at my dancing weight when I was, a looker, but I don't know. Let's talk about Tucson. Dude, I love Tucson. Although, remember when we get to Tucson, we had to go pee, so we stop at In-N-Out. Did we go to the In-N-Out?
Oh, yeah.
We go to the In-N-Out because we don't want to get to the club. I like to get to the club early, but I don't want to be too early. But I was too early, so I had to pee. So we go to In-N-Out Burger, and In-N-Out... that's where we get the hamburger with the tomato, right? The protein style, and they have them put. Yeah, that's so good. We go in to the In-N-Out, and as we're going in, this security guard is pushing this guy out really rough. It was really rough. That guy was in a pickle for sure. He's like, "Hey, why are you being so rough?" He's like, "Get out." Yeah, homeless people are crazy. We'll talk about that later, but that was crazy. That started out, but I like Tucson. Don't you get a good feel?
Yeah, I love Tucson. It's quaint, but it's still big.
I know. I think we either sold out or what. So much. They love comedy there. And it was just me and Greg. Well, one night there was a guest, someone who did a guest set. And can I just talk about this, Chris? The thing I love about Greg Wilson is hilarious. And a lot of young comics are doing crowd work now. They're inspired by that because they know in comedy it's changed. It used to be that you'd have to have an act, but now you just have to have abs and a good reel. You know what I mean? You could be a TikTok star and you can be on comedy, but they'll get the show, but they don't have jokes to fill the show. It's embarrassing, but new comics try to do crowd work, and they can't do it. And they should watch Greg Wilson because he does a master. Jen Kober is good at it too, where they look at somebody in the audience that's a little eclectic or weird. It could be anything, and then they riff on it, but they always make the person feel better, not less. You know what I mean? It's like a funny. Not everyone can do it, It's just I wish the new comics wouldn't do crowd work because they don't know how to have jokes, and then they talk to the. There's a lot of comics that have no social skills when they start out, Chris. They don't look at people and know, who to talk to and who to ignore. Like, I could feel who's going to be talking and who's going to be fun and who's going to be a pain in the ass. You could tell. Like, there's things like And I learned this from being a waiter. Remember my time as a waiter? I was the best waiter ever.
You were the worst waiter ever.
I was the worst waiter ever. I would. You know what pissed me off about being a waiter is people would say, "Oh, what's good? What do you like?" And I would tell them, and then they would just look at me and go to something else. Well, fuck you. Why did you make me tell you that? You know what I mean? Oh, I hated it. I hated waiting on kids. I hated that. I hated it when they would say, "Tell the waiter what you want," and then. If the kids talked, it was cool. But if they did that baby talk, shut the hell up and just point to what you want, bitch. Sit here and do baby talk. Not everyone likes kids. That's your choice. You know what I mean? Don't push them on me. I remember one time this lady brought a little girl, and the little girl made a mess and was throwing, because I worked at Chevy's, the Mexican restaurant. Remember that?
Oh, yeah. They had good salsa.
Yeah, I did. And so she was throwing everything down. And then the mother says, Tiffany wants a coloring book. And I said, coloring books are for good little girls. No. And I meant it. You know what I mean? And I mean,
oh, I'm sure you did.
I know. I don't. When my mother used to take us to restaurants to learn how to handle the fork, how to talk to waiters. We couldn't do that baby talk shit. We had to be very clear. The world has changed. We never really were allowed to talk to adults, but when we did, it was don't waste their freaking time.
Right.
That is not the case now. Little kids think they're like us grown. No, they're not. They're not. They don't know shit. They know how to work a phone and how to save something on PDF. That doesn't make you smart. That doesn't make you smart. You know what I mean? You want to impress me? Tell me what insurance coverage I should get on my car with a deductible or for my home. You know what I mean? That's smart. Tell me how to order synthetic grass by the yard in my backyard. That would be smart. But they don't know how to do any of that stuff. It's sad, Chris. And part of it is our education system. They don't really teach us for success. They teach us just to get us out of the classroom, right?
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. That was a crazy thing. But here's the thing in Tucson. The green room, whenever I do a show, if I'm going in, I don't know the headliner, I always go to the club early. I'm always early. I go in there, and the rule when you go to a club, because I was so lucky, I started everything. I was a permanent host at a comedy club for 4 years, so I know how to work a club and how to get in there, how to be polite, how to move, how to stay out of the way, go ask them where do I sit, and sit there and leave everyone alone. They're busy selling hamburgers and drinks. That's what they're there for. But there is a green room, and there's green room etiquette. New comics do not know green room etiquette. Even older comics, they come in there and first, if you're doing a guest set, why the hell are you going on stage with a drink? You're going out, you're not even there for 8 minutes, for God's sakes. And then the other thing, Chris, is they go in the green room and they talk. And, especially that first show that you're getting to at a club, you've driven there, you're trying to get your head right, you're trying to relax, trying to be in your space, and you got some dumbass that wants to talk to you about nonsense. Shut the hell up. And I'm trying to be kind, Chris. You know what I mean? I try to be nice and I'm pleasant, but if I'm closing my eyes and I'm going over my set and you keep talking, I mean, that happened to me in Tucson. That lady just kept talking. Normally I'm nice and I don't like to say it, but it's fucking annoying to just take over the whole energy for 8 minutes. Oh God, I couldn't. She really drove me nuts. She was a really nice lady, but she did. And I'm trying to be nice. As I get older, I'm trying to be kind. I always tell myself, just because you suck a dick doesn't mean you get to be a dick. Like, be nice. Be nice to people. And I'm trying to be nice, but people just take your niceness and take advantage of it, and you get tired of it. You really do. Are you getting tired of it, Chris?
Oh, yeah.
I know. It's exhausting, right?
It is.
People aren't raised right. I don't know, Chris. Let me move on because I don't want to be stuck. People just don't know green room etiquette anymore. It's a problem. So sometimes, Chris, people bring their girlfriends or boyfriends into the green room.
Really?
Yeah.
Isn't that a big no-no?
I would never do that. Like, I would, because it's the green room is always for the headliner. Like, for example, Nikki Carr. I never did a show with her ever. She was season 5. She was a top 5 winner on Last Comic Standing. When she came into the room, I went early. When she comes into the room, I could feel her energy. If they say hi to me and acknowledge me, I say hi back. I don't talk. I just talk when I'm, just to reply. But I get the feeling like if they're trying to get in their head and trying to go over their act, I'll leave the room and let them have the green room. Monique Marvez is like that. She likes to have the whole green room to herself. That doesn't bother me. That's fine. You know what I mean?
You've kind of earned it.
You've earned it at that point. You're older. You're coming from out of town. I don't know if they've been fighting with their boyfriends or girlfriends or they had a flat tire. They just need time to decompress. It's hard to be funny for 45 minutes to an hour. It is. That's what I love about Greg Wilson, because he came in there and he'll let me know, and I can tell if he wants to talk or if he doesn't. And I could sit in there and not talk, and it's not weird. And that's what I love about him, because he's so professional. It was just the two of us this weekend, except for that guest spot, and she was fine. She was funny. It's just she doesn't know how to behave in a green room. Like, no one's ever told her, you don't have to take all the energy. It was weird.
Right. Greg was really funny, though.
Yeah, I know.
He was really funny.
You told me all the way home. I know.
I told you were decent.
No, I appreciate the truth. No, I do. No, I know. But the second night, you weren't there. But I did turn it around, because I'm like, when you do a Greg Wilson show, he's high energy. You got to match it. You know what I mean? So I said, you know what I mean? I'm up to like 6 setups right now. I'm gonna
hold you to it too.
Thank you.
As soon as we turn this off.
Oh, I'm all abs, baby. Sit-ups. Oh, I'm all abs. That's what you got to do. You got to be like super skinny now. I'll do it if that's what they want. If that's what you want, I'll do it. I thought everyone wanted everyone to be funny. That's what I was working on. Turns out you need abs.
Well, Matt Rife came along, and
I know he fucked it up.
All of a sudden, everyone's got to be in shape.
Oh, now you got to eat right and look good.
You met him, didn't you?
Yeah, he's nice. You know what, Chris? I will tell you this. There's a new gym opening up. Maybe we should get that membership. Isn't it like $9.95?
Yeah, it's like $10 a month.
Yeah, I know. If they have a sauna, I've been hearing that if you go into a sauna, you don't have a heart attack.
What?
Yeah, like it brings down your risk of heart attack like 51%.
Just by going into a sauna?
Yeah, I'm just sitting there, and I can do that. Hell, I can sit all damn day. You know what I mean?
You're really good at that.
I'm really good at sitting. I'm worried about a heart attack. I'm worried about a stroke, because you know how you get stroke face? Your face is all like, remember that lady? What was her name? Amy Buttafuoco. What was her name? Or
Mary Jo.
Mary Jo Buttafuoco. Get out of here, Amy Fisher. Amy, you know what I mean? That's what I want my face. I don't want my face to look like that.
She got shot in the face. It wasn't a stroke.
Oh, it wasn't a stroke. Okay. Well, she was in a pickle for a while.
Same concept, but
yeah. Well, I don't want that face. It's all like Elvis. Yeah. Like, how Elvis does that? That's not cute. Plus, you're eating stuff. People will see all the food. I don't want that. That's not cute.
Not at all. No.
So, I don't know. That was, let's move to a new subject, Chris. And that subject is, I was just thinking, Chris, the other day about how lucky we are. Like, I feel like we don't, knock on wood, we don't worry about cash all the time, do we? Do we? You do. I do. I sleep about it. Well, I'll tell you this. Remember that first apartment we had when we moved to Phoenix? The one where in our bedroom when we were so tired from moving in and we looked up at the ceiling. Remember how tired we were? We looked at the ceiling and it was that cottage cheese ceiling. But somebody had script out the words. What was it?
It said... Help me.
Help me. They wrote it up on the ceiling. Remember that? Remember how tired we were? We're like, oh, well, this is... Every night I went to bed in that apartment thinking, how in the hell am I going to get us out of here? Like, how do we get out of this place? I don't know if you remember, Chris. It got really towards the end. I don't remember that last 2 months. Remember the straw that broke the camel's back was roof rats?
The rats, yeah.
So in Phoenix, we have this thing called roof rats, where if you have lemon trees or orange trees and you have fruit, you have to pick your fruit and throw it away. Otherwise, these roof rats will come and get it. Usually it falls on the roof and they eat it, and then they live in your attic and they get in your walls and they got like these claws, and those rats, they would be up all night just...
Yeah, you could hear them roaming around.
Yeah, and trying to get through the walls.
And then the landlord, who was a piece of work. He like drilled a hole, like he got up into the ceiling, he put up traps and then sealed the hole. And we were like, aren't you going to go back in there to get the traps later?
Yeah.
He's like, no.
Yeah, we could hear they were
I'm
dead.
like, so you're just going to let them like rot?
They did. They rot. It was gross. You know what I mean? But they were just like, what's that Mexican drug dealer that was always trying to get to El Chapo? They were like El Chapo trying to get into the wall. It was. Remember, our dog would go crazy trying to get him through the wall. So glad we moved from there. But one of the things we're so blessed, and I walk around this house every single night before I go and I do my security rounds and make sure the doors and windows are locked. I always think how grateful I am, and I think back. Do you remember that time, Chris, when we were broke? We were so broke, and we went into. Let me tell you how broke we were. Let me remind you how blessed we are. Chris, we were so hungry for Taco Bell, and we were scrunching up coins and money. Remember, we went into the car to get coins out of the, you know how you put them inside the little. We were broke, and we go to Taco Bell, and we went in our pajamas, and I was wearing pajamas with white socks because that was a thing. I used to wear white socks all the time because I was classy like that. So we leave the house. And we're going to go through drive-through, and I leave in white socks and business shoes. Remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
And we go to Taco Bell, and Chris drives because he's a better driver. I have no business being on the road. I'm a menace to society, for real. And so Chris is driving, but Chris isn't like me. Chris is very nice. You know what I mean? I'm like always thinking someone's going to kill me at any given moment. I'm always ready, you know? So my head is always on the swivel. But remember that, Chris? We go to Taco Bell. We're so hungry. We're so poor. We put all our money together. We get Taco Bell. And then I start yelling. What I yell? Go, go, go. Just go. And you're like, what? Because you're white, and white people always have to see shit first, what's going on. I'm like, just listen to me. Go. Go, 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 go. Punch it. And we punched it. And as you were punching it, you saw the guy robs Taco Bell, and he jumps over the counter with a shotgun.
It was a sawed-off shotgun.
Yeah, and he was like yelling at everybody. He was like, you know, getting ready to shoot the gun and shoot everybody. And they were all running. And we took off. But then I told Chris when we got home, I'm like, don't turn off the car. Don't. Because as we were leaving, we saw all the cops coming. Because we lived in that part of town that was like, it was like rich and poor. Remember that? Like the Biltmore was there, which is a very fancy schmancy hotel that when the president comes, that's where he always stayed.
Yeah.
Very fancy schmancy, the Biltmore. And it was near there. And so all the cops were coming. And I told Chris, we got no choice. We have to turn around and go back and get our food. Plus, we're witnesses. So we go back, and then we tell the cops that we're witnesses, and they take our, what did they take, a deposition, or they took our information?
Yeah, took a statement.
A statement. Deposition. You know how bougie I am? I've been watching too much Donald Trump.
Yeah.
And so they took our statement. Remember that? It was and then I told those workers who are traumatized after being, you know, some guy with a shotgun threatening. There was 2 of them in there, I think. And I told them we're really poor and we need our food. Could you go in there and make our food? Or because I think we were next in line, right?
We had already paid. Like, we paid. We were just waiting for the food. So they got our money.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was very awkward. You know, hey, I know you're really traumatized. And had a gun pointed in your face 5 minutes ago, but
we're gonna need our food, and
we're still hungry.
Can we get some mild sauces too? A few.
And can you throw in another taco for the inconvenience?
for real. But what I remember about that story is that we got sour cream, 1 sour cream, because that's how much money we were broke. And as we were done eating, we were reliving the story and eating, and then I forgot that we had sour cream, and I said, no, halfway through, I said, Chris, where's the sour cream? And you're like, you just changed the subject. You didn't lie. You just changed the subject. And then I forgot about the sour cream. And then guess what? And when we were done eating, I said, where's the sour cream? And all I saw was a container. Chris had it and didn't share. That says everything about you, Chris. That says everything about you. I would never do that to you. Never.
Well, good for you.
I would never. In fact, whenever we have dessert, I won't eat the last ice cream cone. Chris will eat it in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
He doesn't care.
When it comes to food, no.
You know what? That's what I love about you, that hunger. You're hungry like a wolf. God bless you. I love it. So, yeah. So, we're blessed, Chris. You know what I mean? We're living nice. I think so. Don't you?
Yeah.
I mean, today we got, what kind of hamburgers are we going to have? Is it fancy schmancy?
It's Wagyu, isn't it?
Is that fancy?
Wagyu burgers?
I don't
Yeah.
know. The price was fancy.
Yeah, they're expensive.
I don't know what part of the meat of the cow it was from, but I don't know. I am leaning towards not eating so much meat, aren't you? I really am the PETA thing is really starting to get to me. Are you friends with PETA on Instagram like me?
No, but I've seen some of the videos.
Oh,
and
my
they're
God.
pretty traumatizing.
I know. I can't. Sometimes I want to run for president just to get a 4-day work week. 4-day work week for everybody and to be nice to animals. Those are like my only platforms. Maybe I could do one more. You know what I mean? Like, maybe we could arrest and put people in detainment camps if they drive slow in the fast lane. You know what I mean?
Amen.
Put them in a camp. Put them
I like
away.
that. I like
they
that.
need to be re-educated. But yeah, so we're blessed, Chris, right? And even the stores we go to the fancy schmancy Target where we used to live. You know, the poor people would take the carts home and they would be so loud. Now we go into the fancy schmancy Chandler Target. Oh, it's so fancy. The carts, they glide. They glide.
They
over.
are nice, yeah.
Very quiet. Very quiet. Still, they're still cheating me on my Doritos, but I don't know. We're very glad. You know, we're very, very blessed, right?
Yeah, no, totally. I think of where we are today versus where we were. You know, we've come a long way.
And that's because you listen to me. Thank you. Thank you. And I want to hear that I'm being heard. No. No, I get us out of a lot of stuff. You know what I mean? I remember when I wanted to move here, you're like, no way. There's no way we can afford it. I'm like, we can afford it. We'll be fine.
Yeah, no, if it wasn't for you, we would still be
Thank
renting.
you. And this is on recording. Can you say it one more time? I did something right.
You did a good job moving us into this house.
Thank you.
We are homeowners because of you.
Homeowners.
Homeowners.
We're HHs. I know. I told you. And you know what? That is the benefit, and bringing it right back to 4th of July, of being a veteran. I love the United States of America. I do. I love this country. I love taking my oath. I loved joining the Army and taking my oath on the 4th of July. I love my country. I can't. And Chris, when I die, you make sure that they give me the taps, right? When they fold the flag,
The taps?
where they fold the flag at my funeral, and you got to wear them big Jackie O sunglasses, and they got to hand you the flag, and you know what I mean? Will you do that?
I'm going to wear Chanel.
Oh, we're going to be bougie in the future. Our future self is wearing Chanel. I don't know. Do you remember this, Chris? Do you remember when we had these two friends, and when we're in they were really wild and they were poor like us, but they had Chanel sunglasses, and they had their car caught on fire.
Oh,
and he
yeah.
ran back to the car, even when it was on fire, to get his Chanel sunglasses out. That is a gay. That is a gay. That is something a gay would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
That was. Do you remember those boys?
Yep, I remember.
Insanity. So, I don't know. Let's move on to Nobody's Talking. This is a new segment that we have a song for called Nobody's Talking About It. Chris, you know what I want to talk about today?
What's that?
Okay. This is what I want to talk about, and I want to talk about the homeless situation. It is bullshit, and nobody's talking about it. And I want to remind everyone, well, maybe you don't know, Gene Moore was homeless. When my family found out I was gay, they're like, get the fuck out. I was gay. I was homeless. It was a mess. It took me a while to get on but never in my wildest dreams when I was homeless did I ever think to, tell anybody. I was embarrassed. I didn't want anyone to know I was homeless. And I thought, how in the hell am I going to change the situation? I got like 3 jobs right away. I worked my way out of that. Now, I know the homeless is an issue, and I'm not trying to be mean. You know, I remember when I went and saw Cesar Chavez. Do you know who that is, Chris?
Yep.
Okay. You think it's the park that we drive by all the time?
Oh, is that not what you're talking about?
That they named the park after him. But anyways, Cesar Chavez came to MSU, and I went to hear him speak. And one of the things he said, and I'll never forget it, was when you as a Mexican American make it in America, the worst thing that you could do or be is the person that pulls up the ladder so someone behind you can't come. That is the worst thing. This is the United States of America, a nation of immigrants. This is what we are. I believe in that. And so I do not do not look at homeless people with any kind of contempt. I don't have that kind of personality where I say, I made it, so should you. But this homeless situation is fucking bullshit. It really is. And people are just taking advantage of our niceness. I think we should triage it. I think we should triage the homeless situation, find out who is mentally ill. We need to get them help. They shouldn't be. It is not okay if Jesus comes back and we have homeless people and they're mentally ill. That is not okay. I don't feel good about that. No one should. That is not the way to live. And they need water. They need resources. And then there are homeless people that are, they lost their job and they got kids. I think we could triage this. But I think everyone has just given up and said, it is what it is. And everyone is okay with all the druggies. And, I'm sorry, but in America, you have to work. This is the most expensive nation in the world. It's the land of the fee, not the free. It's the land of the fee. It costs money. And if you don't want to work, I don't know what to tell you. You were not raised right. Like, you can't steal things from people or just go in and take over land that doesn't belong to you. That isn't right. Am I wrong? Am I being cruel, Chris? I just think it's an issue.
No, and I mean, there's a fine line, like you want to be compassionate for someone that's homeless.
Right. We need to help them.
But look at the problems that it causes. It causes a lot of problems for those of us that are responsible and work and pay our bills.
I know. And you know what? Here's the thing. My mother used to say all the time, just because you're poor doesn't mean you have to be dirty. Clean up after yourself, for God's sakes. I can't stand people who litter. If you litter, you're just a piece of shit. But they just have drugs everywhere, and they're stealing electricity, and they're just picking places. Yeah. Now, I get that America there's a real problem in America where rents and mortgages are way too much money. Gas is too much. I'm pissed at Joe Biden for all of that. You know what I mean? Like, he really should be doing something about rents and mortgage payments. That's a I don't understand why these companies just don't take a 6-month break and stop raising prices just for 6 months. Give us a breathing room. You know what I mean? Take your boot off my neck and let me breathe a little bit. God, I can adapt to anything, but every month I go and buy Doritos and you cheat me of the Doritos and charge me more? Why are we not protesting like France, Chris? Like, the homeless situation is really bad, and it's really bad because I think that there are a lot more people that are just taking advantage of the system. They don't want to work and they just gave up. You can't give up. You can't. And if you're going to give up, I don't know where to tell you. Where do you move? I don't know.
But then there's the flip side of it. You have to have an address to apply for a job.
I know that, Chris.
So there's the other side of it.
And I know when I was homeless, God bless this lady that helped me get back on my feet. She helped me put a resume together. She let me use her address. She let me use her phone. I was lucky, 100%. And I'm not saying that we don't help people that need it, that are just on the cusp. Maybe they just need, a couple months deposit to pay rent on deposits for an apartment. I think we need to do that, but I don't think it's okay just to look the other way and say, that's their problem. It is what it is. We can't fix it. It's really embarrassing when I see at the highway, when I stop, there are people who need it. And if I have money, I always keep money to give something to someone, because I am my brother's keeper. I really do. As a Catholic, I believe in helping the poor. But there are a lot of people that are not poor at the side of the highway with cell phones. I look at your shoes. Mm-hmm. If you're wearing good shoes and you have a cell phone, no, get into a jobs program. It really pisses. I do say, if I was able to get myself out of homelessness, so the fuck should you? Like, I'm just tired of people being, I don't know. Shoes say a lot, Chris. Going back to me being the worst waiter, I always knew when a table was going to come in that didn't tip. Because they would wear, what are those shoes that they wear that are rubber? They're really ugly. Those
Crocs.
Crocs
People don't tip.
No, especially if you're a lady wearing Crocs, you are not a tipper, and you're gonna run me everywhere. No,
Crocs are hideous. I hate those shoes so
Oh,
much.
we all had to take turns working on Sundays, and the Christians are the worst. They would get out of church, and they were so pious. I remember one time some lady told me, you shouldn't be working on the Lord's Day, so I'm not giving you a tip. That's what she said.
Ouch, really?
Yeah, and her fat ass was extra dressing,
Okay,
extra
then
this.
don't eat on Sunday at a restaurant.
Thank
then.
you. Thank you. It was hard for me to be a waiter. I was the worst waiter in America. I had no business waiting on people. I will tell you this as a waiter, though. Chris, we were in that part of town where we knew a lot of like famous rich people would come in, and I got to wait on Sandra Day O'Connor, Supreme Court Justice.
Oh, that's cool.
She was a really good tipper, Chris. Republicans are. They are really, I would say of all the people I waited on that were Republicans, they always gave me the best tips.
You know
And they
what
were friendly. They were friendly.
You know what I've noticed about Republicans, which I love?
What?
They're all animal lovers.
They are?
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because they all, like, anytime there's, like, bills that they want to get through Congress, you know, like, for animal rights, like, they're all about that.
Well, they need to do a better job with PETA. You know what I mean? Because these animals, the way that they're treating them is wrong. And I'm going to run for Congress and take care of that.
Except for Mitt Romney. Remember, he left his dog on the top of his car.
But you know what? I would almost pray for Mitt Romney Republican now. You know what I mean?
I know, right?
They're so crazy right now. They're so anti-drag, anti-gay, anti-trans. Like, if you're obsessed with trans people and gay people, what does that say about you? Like, really? Like, we have real problems in America.
Like, the gay population is so small compared to,
I know.
you know, other things going on right now.
Way big. You know, if you're really, really worried about your kids, you need to be worried about the food and the poisons they put in your food and all that and all them preachers molesting children, even at the Catholic Church, for God's sakes. They're projecting. You know what I mean? They're just saying, you know, focus, look over there so we can, you know, take advantage of poor people. Yeah. It's a shame. I know. But, you know, the homeless situation is a thing nobody's talking about. I think we need to be more aggressive. I personally, Chris, feel guilty about the homeless situation. I do. Like, I feel like when I see Jesus, I have to atone for that.
Well, like I said, it's sad. It's tragic and it's terrible.
It's
that people
bullshit.
Are in that position.
People are taking advantage of it, though.
Yeah, and you know they litter, they pollute, they set up camps anywhere they can find a spot.
I tell you,
they steal. You know, you go into a store. They
doing
have to,
drugs.
Yeah, they do drugs out in the open. So
we go to CVS. We can't even go. I won't let Chris go at night because they take over. Like, it's a Thriller video. They're all up there.
It's pretty messed up.
It is messed up. And I want to be clear. As someone who was homeless, I get it. I have compassion for people, but I say we need to go in there and triage it and say who is mentally ill, who is just economically disadvantaged that needs a little bit of help. Maybe they need subsidized housing. What can we do to fix that? But looking the other way, that's not working anymore, Chris. It really is coming down to a time I think I have to run for Congress, for God's sakes. Just take care of that. It's a shame. It's embarrassing if Jesus comes back and it's getting worse.
Well, and you have to think about like business owners,
I know.
The place that I used to manage. Like we had to deal with homeless people that would come in, and we would try to help them when we could, but they would like go in the bathroom, mess it up.
I know.
Do drugs in there.
When I was homeless, I was so polite. It took me a long time to get my first job. And when I got my first job, I used to go into a gas station, and I was very polite about it. And I always make it clean after I left. But I didn't have money for deodorant. And I remember when I went, I know this is embarrassing, and I'm not proud of it. But I mean, you know what? I'm not embarrassed by it. Like, I worked my way out of it. You know what I mean? But I worked for a donut delivery. That was my first job when I was homeless. And so I was a United States veteran homeless. Isn't that embarrassing? That's humiliating. Just because I'm gay, I can't live with my family. Whatever, I forgave them bitches. Not really, but I don't hold them to it. I get it. They made the best decision that they could, I guess. I guess. I don't know, whatever. But when I got my first job, I went and I delivered donuts, and I'd have to load up my delivery truck, and I would keep my arms like really close to my body so that I wouldn't open up, because I worked with two girls that were bitches, and it would be like, "Ooh, what's that smell?" It was me. I smelled funky. I smelled like a Vidalia onion. I smelled like somebody was making fajitas. Who's making fajitas at a donut shop? It was me, bitch. It was me. But I would keep my arms there, and I worked my way out of that. And so I just don't have a lot of respect for people who get stuck like that. And I just think nobody's talking with it. Does it sound like I'm being mean?
No, I mean,
Because I need to work on my chakras and adjust them so I'm not out of whack.
I remember the first time I saw a homeless person, I just thought, how sad, how terrible.
Yeah.
You know, it's so tragic. Where's their family?
Yeah.
But once you have to deal with it all, like every day, I see a homeless person,
I know.
begging for money every single day.
I know.
It just, after a while, it's like, okay, we got to do something here.
We have to do something about it. We can't look away anymore. And we can't really blame them. Even though I'm upset with them, I really think we need to fix it somehow. I don't know what I'm going to do. Anyways, let me move on. I'm getting so angry. I need to get angry about real things like, the thing that really makes me angry, because I don't get angry at things that normal people do. I'm still mad at George Clooney, Chris. Remember that?
What did George Clooney do to you?
Remember when we were poor and we lived in that apartment that said, "Help me" on the ceiling? Remember how we put our money? We were poor. Remember we put our money together and we went to see a movie on Thanksgiving? Remember that?
Oh, that's right. What was that movie called?
Solaris. The worst
right.
movie. If I see George Clooney, and I will, the whole reason I'm doing this so hard is so I can get into a room with George Clooney and tell him that he owes me 2 movie tickets. I swear to God. The popcorn and the hot dogs, I paid for that. I ate that. But the movie, that was some bullshit. That was the worst movie ever to go see. And when you're broke...
I've never seen a movie with no plot whatsoever. It had no plot.
It was horrible.
I still don't know what that movie was about.
I'm still mad at George Clooney.
I don't think George Clooney knew what that movie was about.
No, he didn't. He could have been homeless. Fuck him. That's how mad I am. George Clooney, I'm gonna see you one day, and I want my money back. I want my money back. I'm gonna go right up to. I want my money back. I want my money. You in there, George? I want my money. That's what I want. I'm gonna get out country. You know what I love, Chris? Changing subjects, but today you told me I love white trash. You mean I grew up gay, poor, Mexican? I looked up to white trash. I did. I was like, if I work hard enough in America, you can do anything. If I work hard enough, I too can be white trash. But today you told me the whitest trash story ever about your cousins.
My uncle, who was not that much older than me. That's how
really
white trash I went to high school with an aunt and an uncle.
So really?
Yeah.
That is white trash. That is, Chris. That is.
Yeah, I know it is.
But anyways, okay, so we went... Chris was telling me that he was walking down the street and he had bottle rockets and he put them in his back pocket, and somebody shot a bottle rocket, because that's what they used to do, shoot bottle rockets at each other.
They'd have bottle rocket fights.
That's hilarious. And so they shot it and it hit him right in the back pocket, and his pants caught on fire, and then he took off running, and then his cousin was on the porch drinking a beer, took off running after him and put beer to put the fire out. So white trash. So white trash. So awesome.
I know.
That is. And then the crazy part is, what was it? Your aunt? She had to cut his shirt.
My grandmother had to cut holes out of like one of the butts on the back pocket, so his butt cheek would hang out, because it had to like have air. It couldn't be like covered.
So it could heal.
So he went all summer with a butt cheek hanging out.
God bless the white trash of America. God bless them. Yeah, you can go into any room, and when white trash comes into the room, it's always going to be exciting. Remember today at Lowe's, that guy was yelling,
"Oh yeah,
meet me outside." He was upset about something. He was yelling, and he was yelling at somebody. "I'm from the east side. Meet me outside. Meet me outside." I'm like, what's going to happen outside? A barbecue, bitch? That was crazy.
Yeah, I grew up around white trash.
God bless you. You're so lucky.
Entertaining, always entertaining.
Always entertaining. So I don't know. That is, I don't know, Chris. Woo. Anyways, let's go to questions. I haven't. So Chris, we're gonna go to a segment called Questions I Have Not Heard. And this is Chris. He's the producer, the writer, the guy that does the video upload. He does a lot. Because when we did this project, it was either paint the house or do a podcast. And so I said, let's do a podcast. So, and this wine is making me a little bit drunk, Chris. Can I just say that? Am I okay? Am I saying anything crazy?
Well, I don't think I've ever seen anyone drink wine out of a glass with a straw, and there was ice in there.
Well, of course, I'm classy.
Ice with wine.
Mm-hmm. I'm classy. You know what I mean? I'm a lady. No, I just felt like a little wine. It's the 4th of July. I'm celebrating. You know what I mean?
That's why you're kind of rambling on a little bit more.
Oh, am I rambling? Oh my God! Thank you, Chris. I know. Yeah, thank you. Anyways, let's go
questions.
On to questions. Am I crazy though?
No.
Okay,
no,
thank you.
Fine. No.
All right. These are questions I have not heard before by Chris. Questions. Questions.
All right.
I wish I could sing, Chris. I would really get us out of this house if I could sing.
Yeah, let's stick to comedy then.
Yeah, these are things we already know.
Okay.
I can't sing.
So, which comedian, dead or alive, do you look up to the most?
Some more, without a doubt. Without a doubt, I love some more. I think she is the queen of comedy right now. I think nobody does. Every time I see her, whenever I can see any comedian for free. I can go to any club and I can get in and I can see him for free. Except for I don't take advantage of that at Stand Up Live. I usually pay.
You should.
I know. But I'm too shy to ask. But when I do pay for comedy, it's usually to see a female. Kathleen Madigan, I pay top dollar. Because what happens is when you're doing comedy, they do your box office and they see how many tickets are you selling, not comps, how many you gave away, but how many tickets are you actually selling, and they keep track of that nationwide, and that determines your Netflix and everything. So some more, whenever I see her, I always make sure I pay. Kathleen Madigan, Marie Bamford. I just think female comics are funnier. They're more relatable for me. I don't know. I see the beauty and the talent in male comics, but I'm not gonna pay to see them.
Yeah, we've seen some more several times.
She's funny
and
always new material.
Yeah, every set is completely different.
Yeah, I respect her.
So many comedians, they do the same jokes over and over, but her like a completely different set every single time.
The queen of comedy.
She kills every single time.
Every single time. The queen of comedy. It used to be Joan Rivers was the queen of comedy, but now I think it's some more.
Yeah.
All
right, next question.
Next question. Questions I haven't heard before.
What is the best? This is a 2-part question.
Okay.
So the first part, what is the best part about living in Phoenix?
The best part is, first, am I rambling?
No.
Okay, thank you.
I mean, you're talking more than usual.
Oh.
But it's not rambling. Like, you at least have a point.
Oh, okay. God, you're such a bitch. God. Okay. The best part about living in Phoenix is right now is the monsoon season. I love the heat. I love going outside. Last night we went outside and we stayed on the patio, and it
was windy and hot.
And that breeze, I love it. It's like flying by the sun.
The monsoon storms they're magical. Like they really,
I know.
They like change the energy.
I do.
Like everyone has a different energy. It just the wind, the lightning, the torrential downpour. Yeah.
No, I love it. And you're right. The energy does change when there's a monsoon.
People get happier for some reason.
It makes you more electric. And you know what? That's why we went to Lowe's today, because I'm getting ready I like to worry about shit before it happens. And one of the things I'm worried about is the power going out. And if we have to have enough lantern lights in here so that it can be lit, because I hate the dark.
All right. So the second part of the question.
Oh.
What is the worst thing about living in Phoenix?
The worst thing about living in Phoenix? The worst thing. I don't think there is a drawback. Everything about Phoenix is amazing. I love it. I love it here. This is the city that rebranded me. I came here homeless. I came here poor. I came here broken. And this city allowed me to heal myself and to rebuild myself. I don't find anything about Phoenix. And I, like my friend Ray, he's moving. He's in a hurry, fire sale, moving to Las Vegas, which is a Phoenix suburb. No, I'm just kidding. But, Chris, I don't need a zip code or area code to make me funnier in LA or New York or Las Vegas. I'm 602 and I'm funny. And I love Phoenix. I am. It's a blessing from the Lord. And I'm not saying that like to be anything that I'm not. I'm humble about it, but I am funny. And that's a gift that the God gave me. You know what I mean? And so I can't think of anything negative to say about Phoenix. I love it. This is a city that has adopted me and let me heal myself. God bless Phoenix. Mm-hmm.
Good for you.
Thank you. Thank you. Did that bore you, sir? Sir, did that bore you? Okay. But what do you not like about Phoenix?
The traffic is bad. The air quality.
Well, you're just being a bitch now.
The gay community sucks.
You know what? That's true.
Yeah.
It's
It's not a community at all, really.
Not really.
But that's okay. I don't care.
When we were in Missouri, we were the shit. We were nice.
Yeah, there was like a
community.
close-knit community.
Yeah.
Not here. Yeah.
No,
It's so spread out here.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably why.
Well, no, the gays are bitches here because it's very LA influence. It's very,
yeah, that's true.
What can you do to help me? And if you can't help me, why am I talking to you? Why are you? That is a feeling that I get from Phoenix gays is like, what can you do for me? And if you can't, why am I talking to you? It's horrible.
Okay, next question.
Yes.
Am
I being too negative today?
No.
Suddenly I'm English. Am I too negative?
What is your favorite movie?
My favorite movie of all time? God, I have so many. Okay, Mommy Dearest, which is a comedy I love. I love Coal Miner's Daughter. I love What's Love Got to Do with It. I love, I would say my favorite movie, and it's going to make me sound so gay, is Somewhere in Time. I love Somewhere in Time.
Really?
Yeah, when Christopher Reeve meets that girl on the beach and she's like, is it you? Is it you? Oh, it gets me every time. I love Somewhere in Time. Do you know what I'm talking about?
I've never seen it, but I know what it is.
Do you remember? This is so mean, and it's the wine. But do you remember? The Super Bowl ad where Christopher Reeve was walking when he was paralyzed?
I do remember that. Yeah, because everyone thought it was so mean.
I thought it was hilarious. I thought it was a comedy. I was laughing, and people got mad. I know. Isn't that bad? Yeah. But I love that movie, Somewhere in Time. We should watch it. You know what I mean? Mommy Dearest, though, I think of Mommy Dearest, What's Love Got to Do with It? Coal Miner's Daughter, Paris is Burning. Which one of those four? And The Color Purple. Which one of those is the best?
Purple. Probably Mommy Dearest. I think I saw that for the first time when I was like 12 and immediately infatuated with it at 12.
I know. I was thinking, how can I be a bitch like that? How can get me the axe?
Oh, no, you have to do it right. Tina! Bring me the axe.
I know. It was so good. I love all of it.
Okay, next question.
Yes.
Is there anything your boyfriend does that drives you crazy? I'm setting you up with this one.
Everything he does is amazing. He's so amazing. Sure, how he tells me the truth all the time when I don't want to hear it. It's amazing to know that you're fat. It's amazing.
I don't tell you you're fat.
You tell me I'm starting to look sloppy. Well, I appreciate that.
I did say that.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah.
I appreciate that because my gut is hanging out. But food is so good, Chris. But you say, you know what? I'm saying that and people are going to judge you and saying you're saying it in a mean way. You prefaced it with like, I have something uncomfortable to tell you. And I was like, tell me.
I'm pretty sure I just said you're sloppy. I'm pretty sure.
I'm trying to make you look good, Chris. You bitch. Okay, what else? Next question.
Okay.
There isn't anything that you do that bothers me. I genuinely...
Really?
The difference between me and you is I genuinely like you. I do. And when
No, I like me too.
I know. And I feel bad because you're home alone a lot. And when I'm home.
Oh, please, I love it.
I know you do. I know. And when I'm home, I'm always like, we have to do everything together. Like today, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm hiking. And I'm like, well, I'm going to.
I can't even go to the bathroom without you. Let's do it together.
Let's do it together. I do. I feel guilty.
Okay.
I do like you, though. I think you're nice.
I like you too.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah, your list is shorter than my list of things that.
Oh, well, what is it that drives me crazy?
It's a long list. I don't want to get into it.
Yeah, this isn't therapy for couples. Do you want to go to couple therapy? Do you think we need that? I don't think we do.
That's for
straight people.
Yeah.
You know what? Straight people do that thing, Chris, where they talk about love language. Because some girl told me, what's your boyfriend's love language? I'm like, what? That is some straight people bullshit if I ever heard it. Love language. It's bullshit.
Yeah, it's dumb.
It is a way to sell a book.
Yeah.
You know, I think a healthy relationship, this is why I think we're successful. Number one, and we know we're judgy gays. Like, you know, Chris, when we meet couples and we walk away and we think they ain't gonna make it. They ain't gonna.
Oh, yeah.
Because we give each other space. We have separate bathrooms. I think that's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
The separate bathroom. Your bathroom is very fancy. Mine is not so fancy.
Well, this morning I told you it looked like Whitney Houston's bathroom from the National Enquirer. They put out someone snuck into her house and took pictures of her bathroom
when she was on
drugs, and there was just like trash everywhere.
Chris,
that's what it looked like this morning when I walked in. I
Okay.
said, has Whitney Houston been in our house?
And you know what's funny about that? There was like a brush and my toothpaste was on the we have everything spick and span here, but I had a toothbrush, my Tiger Balm, and my brush. And those three things made it look like Whitney Houston.
There was more than that. But it was messy. Let's just leave it at that.
You are judging. Stay out of my bathroom. God, I'm king of the castle.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, what else?
Okay, next question. Last question.
Yeah.
So what is your plan to sell more merch?
Will you get off my ass about the merch? Chris, okay, yes, we have merch, and I hope that you can go to jmorecomedy.com to get this bitch off my ass. He's always up my ass about something. Right now, it's the merch. Yes, Chris, we have a lot of merch, but that's
you sold one T-shirt, and it was to my mom.
No, you're actually wrong. I sold merch in Yuma. I've sold merch at shows. We're not on tour. We're redoing the act, so we have extra merch. Relax, it'll be sold. God, Chris, the thing is, I take care of everything. Do you ever worry about anything? No? Thank you. I got it under control. Will you please buy this merch? Go to janemorecomedy.com and buy this merch. I swear to God, you can get yourself a candle. You get this. Yes, we have extra merch, and I know it's sitting in there, but when I go on when I do a tour, it'll sell out.
Okay.
I sold it stuff when I go to shows. Chris, if I'm doing guest sets and I only do like 10 minutes, like this weekend, there's a protocol in comedy. Like, I can't sell stuff that the headliner is. That's just the rule. That is the rule. There are things that happen. Like when the headliner is talking to people and saying goodbye, I stay near the headliner so I could take photos for him if he needs it or her. I stay out of their way. This is what I do. This is the rules of comedy. There are rules. The comedy goes like this, Chris. It goes host, opener, feature, headliner. And like this weekend, I was the host and the feature, and Greg was the headliner. There are rules that we have to play. There are rules that's why comedy works, because of these rules. You don't like the rules? So the merch will be sold.
Okay. I trust you.
Jeez Louise. Okay. Can you end on a high note? Is there a good question in there?
What do you like most about me?
I do. You know what I like about you, Chris? I like that you're nice. I like that you're honest. A lot of people don't know this. To be my friend, you have to get Chris's approval. Because if Chris says he doesn't like you, I cannot be your friend. Because all I hear about is that person is bad and they're not good for me. And there's a campaign of hate. So, yeah, there's so many people that have come into my life that Chris is like, no. And you're always right. I will say
I
this.
am, aren't
You're
I?
100% right. I like that about you. I like that you're a Democrat, that you're honest. I like that you're a hard worker. I like that. There's not a lot I don't like. I think things I don't like about you is that when you...
Well, I didn't ask that.
No, I want to share. When we back up, you use that camera in the car to back up, which is white people's trickery. I'm not going to use that camera.
Why do you not trust the backup camera?
I don't. Well, I got eyes. I can see myself.
Okay, but you, what was it, 5-6 months ago? You backed into something because you wouldn't use the backup camera?
Okay, now you're bringing up old shit. This is couple therapy. That was a mistake. That was a mistake. It could have happened to Chris. I have been driving for years. How many accidents have I been in? Not that many. Like, I ran over carpeting on the highway or something like that, but like, I don't run into cars or bump into things. That was, I was annoyed, and I bumped into one of those poles that they have to protect the gas tanks. The gas, when you go and get gas, they have these poles that protect the the pump, right?
So you don't blow the place up.
Yeah, I bumped into it. I barely touched it. And I know. But God bless, we traded that car in. They gave us full value for it. You know what I mean?
I can't believe they did
I
that.
cannot believe that either. I drove away like sucker. I did. But you know what? Honestly, of all the bad car deals I've ever been in my life, like, it felt good to finally get a win.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah. So this has been our show. I hope this has been entertaining for you. I hope that you'll come back every week and listen to In a Pickle with Gene Moore. And please go to genemorecomedy.com to find out where I'm coming, which is not going to be in July. It's going to be in August in a town near you. And I always remind you, let's just be good citizens and be kind to each other. Remember to always put away your shopping cart. And you may say, Gene Moore, no one has ever told me to put away my shopping cart. Well, no one ever tells you to wipe your ass. That's what you do to be a good human being. Like, it's just part of life. Put away your shopping cart. Bless people when they sneeze. It's not so hard. This is what we do to get by. And just be kind to each other. I think we can be nice. And get ready, because when the aliens come back, we're all going to die. So let's just be kind to each other until that moment. This has been Gene Moore, and I hope you come back and see us. Thank you for watching In a Pickle with Gene Moore. Thank you.